night. Remember those 8 hours that we talked about? Because all too often, the people who are doing this type of work, this lifestyle, this vocation, fail miserably at depositing into the vehicle that gets you to your destination. And so when we're trying to get there, we're broke down and we're unhealthy and we're not getting rest. And so we are trying to help transform people and communities, but we are having great difficulty in transforming our own lives. So I would encourage each of us to take first responsibility and accountability to caring for the gift that is going to allow you to keep on giving. Not as pointed as what Tia just said. Just lower the bar. Sorry, not going to have time to party. But one of the a quote rather that I kept thinking about and was hoping to weave into the Engaged Scholarship conversations at our tables, because we kept coming back to humanity and doing this work for people and not looking at counts in terms of quantitative numbers that we submit to funders and to others and data, and the importance of relationships and those types of critical aspects. And I just kept thinking about this one quote that I read in preparation for one of Dr. T's classes. It talks about change, in terms of community change, happens at the speed of relationships. And so just how important that very piece is that we care for each other, we hold each other accountable, we check in to make sure that we're okay, you know, we bring our resources to the table so that we can really affect change. So again, the quote was, change happens at the speed of trust. And it was in an Aspen report, if that helps or not.
Oh, good old Aspen.
There's a archetype by Carl Jung, and the archetype is called the wounded healer. I don't know if some of you are familiar with that. Lots of times when I'm teaching in the intensity of the semester, I will wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep. But I'm thinking about one of my students. Always. And I'll get up and I'll think about something my student said that a lot of the psychology students, as a stereotype, tend to implode a lot. They're wounded themselves, and that's what brought them here. And I think part of my job is to care for them. So I'm all for the sleep, and I'm all for taking care of yourself. But I think part of taking care of yourself is recognizing that you can be a wounded healer. Like, you don't have to be so totally okay. I don't even know what the heck that would look like, but you don't have to be so totally okay. In fact, you can be in a lot of pain and still be wonderful presence to someone. In fact, I think when we're at our most vulnerable is when we can be awake and aware and with someone in a way that's healing.
I'm sorry, I wasn't even in the group, so I shouldn't be talking, but this is just wanted to say something about, in terms of delivery, in terms of legacy, what is very inspiring about this for me is coming from, you know, being in school, being a professional student for so long, in spaces where affect is a theoretical phase or a theoretical buzzword, but it's not something that's really felt and meant. And to see scholarship really have legs is a new thing. It's something that I thought would be the norm and is not. And so I think this is very revolutionary, whether we believe it or know it or not. For scholars, people working towards a doctorate degree, to sit in circles with, you know, different interlocutors and saying, hey, how do we make the world better? And let's go out there and do it together. There are people that claim to be scholar practitioners, but it's not like the norm for people to go to get a doctorate degree to do that. Not to say that people don't want to do that. So I just think this is really special, and even though our program is in the infancy stages, having the ability to have a class where we do something like this, where we're really trying to dig deep into what it means to be human, is very special. So, in terms of delivery, this is a deliverable.
our circles,
Saying one more after this next one.
in one of our circles, Quincy talked about approaching somebody that had helped him to be the man he is today, that he had met 10 years ago. And it made me think about the importance of not programming and doing the work we do to the end of our dollars, but really looking into the future and how, what we do is going to impact. And of course, not, we don't always know the specifics, but back to the dream portion, just seeing like the thought of how the work that we endeavor to do is going to impact society, and looking at it not just to the end of the grant, but 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road.
Engage scholarships.
Was there?
I'm a retired academic, but when I was working with my students at the time, I reminded them, because it was a new idea to me at the time, that all of you are going to be alums, and you're going to be working together as alumni maybe, but the possibility of all of you coming together and becoming some kind of major forum for change in Pittsburgh is very, very possible, especially as you build in your cadres of future classes. And so I don't know if you don't already think like this, because I'm not familiar with the caring community here in the way that you are, but if you haven't been working together as you are now, you could think about that and become a major forum for change, simply because you all know each other and you know your skills and your particular agencies. And so I would suggest to you to start thinking of yourselves as a future colleagues, not only getting through your doctorate and helping yourself finish, but also working towards a major change in how your agencies work together for the future in Pittsburgh, because you are a really profound nucleus. I don't know if you thought like that, or faculty probably have, but I would tell you it is a wonderful opportunity for you for the future and for Pittsburgh's future.
So I'll just state along those lines the context from which we came to this conversation together is unique. So this, in a sense, the World Cafe style is much like a social lab, which we spent time investigating, exploring earlier in our program. And one of the underlying components to a social lab is not knowing the end result. It's bringing groups together, finding topics to discuss, to share ideas, and not knowing where this is going. And so that was uncomfortable for some of our analytical types, such as myself, who want to know, Danielle, who want to know where this is going. And so embracing that awareness that we don't know where this is going, I think speaks not only to what we just did, but also what it is we've all been talking about, which is how we can create change, because it starts from individuals, and we don't know where that will go, but this is a really great start.
So, on that note, thank you, Brett. Thank you for everyone who took the time took the time out of your busy schedule to come out here tonight or this evening. But I wanted to just kind of wrap up real quick and just basically just share our thanks for all the time that you've spent here engaging with us, allowing and pouring into our lives and allowing us to pour into you as well. So what we're planning on doing is we actually have a deliverable that we have to work on, which is a paper about this experience. And what we are planning to do is hopefully create some kind of one-pager document that we can send out that kind of summarizes some of the things that happened here, so that all of you guys can experience all of our harvest after the harvest. And we hope to be able to engage in future conversations, and we thank you again for all your time. But I know y'all want to go home, so I'm going to go ahead and not hold you up anymore. So thank you.